decisive, uncertain, or safe. Arm yourself. Look for information. I feel like a gun. But we're not good at fighting. We're good at observation to a point. Let's go uncertain. Having decided more about your house before accepting the invitation, you make inquiries at the hotel reception, who direct you to a moderately sized, yet well-selected library. You start looking haphazardly, and it's not long before you find information about Martine. He is a French scholar who moved some years ago to New York to take a seat at the university there. For a young man, he seems to have published quite a number of interesting papers, and the general consensus is that he is a very able and studious fellow, of whom great things are expected. Apparently, due to his great curiosity and enthusiasm, he is poised to become an important name in academia, not only in his adopted New York, but worldwide. Reading these details about his life makes you feel much better about the invitation. It may prove to be a diverting encounter after all. So if you remember, earlier when the cult was talking to us, they talked about how they don't let their members have much publicity. So then this guy is probably not a cult member unless different branches of the cult have different policies. That is, if you believe, but this is only on the assumption that what the cult told us was true. Maybe that rule applies only to certain members. Alright. No, we'll be safe. Always play it safe. You are a guest in a hotel. You're a guest in a hotel in a foreign city. You're not exactly in a good position to obtain a gun without drawing attention, and you don't want to start alarming people. At least not yet. I mean, it is America, though. I'm pretty sure you could buy a gun pretty easily. No questions asked. Steak knife. You go downstairs for the evening meal. Taking advantage of a heated discussion amongst the others, you take and conceal sharp steak knife. The cold metal pressed against your skin gives you a feeling of security. Fair enough. You ask the hotel receptionist to deliver your reply to Martine. Then return to your room. You are aware that your university benefactors are expecting you to re-establish yourself, and it is not hard to suppose that this meeting with Martine could be the first of many. You know you should be considering your moves very carefully. After only a few hours, you hear back from Martine. A carriage will be sent to pick you up at the hotel at lunchtime tomorrow. The sun set several hours ago. You're sitting silently at the desk in your hotel room. You glance over at the bed as if were a ferocious animal crouching, ready to attack. Sleeping and dreaming have not exactly been enjoyable recently. Nonetheless, you know that you cannot very well go to tomorrow's meeting with Martine in this frayed state, and you should try to get at least a few hours rest. Having resolved as much, you are going over to your bed when you hear a noise coming from the direction of the door. Then you detect an even fainter rustle. Cautious. Creep closer to the door, tiptoeing and keeping your eyes strained to pick up any further noises. I think that may mean ears. Yet you hear nothing, even when you press your ear right up against the wood. You do, however, notice another message at your feet. You bend to pick it up. Dear Jake, I am sure you are just now beginning to feel safe, far from the insanity which has been surrounding you these past few years. However, a good friend must also point out complacency when he sees it. I don't think stealing a steak knife so we can defend ourselves is complacent, but okay. Be very careful, Jake. The cult is active, very active indeed. You should know by now just how far it extends and how it maintains a presence in the most unexpected places. Martine is just another line of silk in the web being spun around you. Do not let yourself become the fly. Signed, a friend. I wonder if this whole friend isn't a friend at all, and they are part of the cult, and perhaps that them helping us kill that one branch off is deemed by the cult as a necessary sacrifice. You sit considering all that this new message conveys. Your paranoia and suspicion have been confirmed as warranted yet again. You were right to distrust Martine's invitation. That is, if your mysterious informant can actually be trusted. What if it is in fact he who has nefarious intentions? That's what I'm wondering. Very, very wary. The only person that we can trust right now is ourselves. Prepare an eventuality. I'm convinced. That might be better. This is a good question. Yeah, let's meet him in a public place. It's much safer. You are perplexed by Martine's interest in you. It doesn't have the ring of simple academic curiosity. You have decided tomorrow you will send him another message, apologizing and declining the invitation to lunch. To make up for it, you propose meeting up in the afternoon at the hotel bar. This way, you'll be able to observe him in a public place, and you won't be able to pull any nasty surprises if there is any basis to your suspicions or the informant's warnings. You know, it's also possible, though, that the informant wants it in a public place if they have nefarious purposes, because then they get more information. You spend the morning between the hotel restaurant and the bar. Martine's reply is prompt. He is sorry about your setback, and he says he'll be pleased to join you for afternoon tea. You had expected some sort of excuse on his part. Perhaps his suspicions and the informant's message had exaggerated. You are, however, feeling decidedly more relaxed about the encounter, and you're even becoming somewhat curious about Martine. You are in the smoking lounge when a waiter announces arrival. Jump to green or let him come to you? Let him come to me. Dr. Huntington, I presume. The Frenchman walks over to you with a calm and cheerful demeanor. At this point, your plan of studying him seems a little pointless, since there appears to be nothing odd or false about him at all. You greet him, and after a brief exchange of pleasantries, you invite him to accompany you to the bar. With a wry grin, the Frenchman suggests they might partake of something stronger, and the suggestion amuses you too. Don't get too drunk. That could be very, very bad. And it's been many weeks since you have felt the joy of easy and pleasurable conversation. You cannot help but like this little, heavy accented man, and you begin to relax to a degree which you had thought was impossible for you now. You lose track of time completely, until Martine points out that it is getting dark. We have lost ourselves in chit-chat, mon ami. At this point, however, it would make more sense to organize ourselves for dinner rather than lunch. And I can easily make the necessary arrangements with my housekeepers, but after I show you my laboratory. He could be luring us. We got a knife. And we got... how much experience available? That's a lot. Almost enough to fully upgrade something. We wanted to. Let's do it. Achievement failed. Oh, well. But is there a way to look? There is. Right here. Achievements. Oh, that's not achievements. But that one was. Wait, but that's inventory. Oh, there we go. Okay, I guess we're gonna get it anyway. Well, let's see if we made the right decision. The carriage trip was rather short, or at least it seems that way, because you are fascinated by Martine's many anecdotes about the various scholars he has met. You find yourself smiling often, and even laughing. You have not laughed for a long time. Martine treats you as an honored guest. After making preparations for dinner with the servants, he takes you to his office. Once there, you see that it accesses the small laboratory that he has installed in his house. I bet that you too have come across certain lines of inquiry which can become almost an obsession. Is it not so? Yeah, it's true. So yes. Ah, I knew I discovered a kindred spirit. Come then, mon ami. Let me show you my obsessions. Martine takes your arm, guides you towards the door. Please, make yourself at home, Dr. Huntington. You enter the dimly lit laboratory. Then as you are crossing the threshold, you suddenly have the strange but definite sensation, like the darkness and the silence inside, there are other people there. Oh shit. Oh, come on. You hear the door closing behind you. Someone pulls close the curtains, leaving only a small blade of light. 3 figures emerge from the shadows and advance towards you. Oh, thank God, Martine isn't part of it. Okay, good. Mon Dieu, who are you? Damn. You waste no time drawing the knife from your sleeve. The first man comes at you, you take him by surprise, and stab him in the stomach. He yelps and falls to the ground. There are 2 more opponents. Okay, that didn't take him out. He could easily get back up. 1 stab of the stomach generally doesn't kill someone. At least not initially. Martine lets out an effeminate shriek and runs terrified to the farthest corner of the laboratory. I think we should defend. Let's take a look at her skills. Our fighting isn't very good. It says help you face your enemies. Notice details. That one's useless. Medicine could be useful for this case. Agility. We're not very good at that. So essentially, medicine is our best bet. But we're decent in agility, so if we really need to, we can increase it. Let's defend. I feel like that's safer. You widen your stance, trying to find a good, solid defensive posture, and then hold the knife out steadily out in front of you. The men seem to be studying you, but you suppose that there is little they can learn in this poor light. You are clearly in a position of stalemate, and you realize that things could get worse. What if there are more men on their way? You have to find a way to end it quickly. Escape surroundings are 1 less. So, attack 1, open the door, or medicine. Here we go. Let's go medicine. You shouldn't need to be full at this point for it to succeed. Success. Good. It is very difficult to distinguish objects in the darkness of the laboratory, but you manage to find a special looking bottle containing a transparent liquid. It appears to be carefully and securely sealed shut. It must be an acid of some kind. You snatch the bottle and throw it at one of your attackers. The sound of breaking glass is straightaway followed by screams and a faint sizzling. Okay. Is it wrong that I just want to laugh at these guys? Like, It's just awesome to kick their asses. After so much failure against the cult, just being able to... I mean, we've taken out 2 opponents out of 3. Even if we fail here, that's pretty amazing. Let's just hope they don't try and take Martine prisoner. Oh, so there is another guy back up, yeah. His screams and maniac convulsive gestures distract the other 2 opponents, giving them the time to strike and knock one of them out. The only sound laboratory now is coming from Martine. Okay, they may have gotten that wrong. Oh well. You find him crouched under a counter with his arms over his head, murmuring a prayer in French. Your heart is racing, and you realize that more men could arrive at any moment. You must find a way to get out of this static, yet perilous situation. Try or escape. Why would he destroy the laboratory? Try and escape.